see how this works out. So I'm trying streaming in a different way. I'm not sure if we're going live yet.
Did
so I'm
you
gonna play
know
a
that
video.
your average weekly shop costs less at Walmart than any other major grocery
my video's
store?
playing on YouTube.
We price check thousands of items every week, so you don't have to. Saving you time and money.
Here.
Walmart.
And,
Save money, live better. A major grocery
my video's
store,
playing on YouTube.
we price check thousands of items every week, so you don't have to. Saving you time and money. Walmart.
And,
Save money, live better.
And
A major grocery
my
store.
video's playing on YouTube.
the wire that came with it goes down here, the pole, and then I have it running up through the tent drill. Pretty easy, just undo the tent, run it into the tent, and just run it inside. And I got my software-defined radio in there. So I have it hooked up to my computer, and you can see that I got 9330 on, and pulling in pretty good signal on that one. Now it's It's 10 a.m. so obviously in the morning there's not as many stations. At night there's a lot more stations that you'll hear. I'll have a screen cap of this going at night. But definitely I'm at the Charleston Lake Provincial Park campsite, and it is I'm just gonna bring him down. So compared to being in the city, the signal quality is really well. And as I said, from the outside I got like this zipper here, and I can reach out to where the pole is right there, and I can turn my antenna. So I got a just rabbit ears antenna, just to mainly pull in FM stations. This is actually a real dead zone. That's what makes this a great area for playing radio with my SDR stuff. I'm running Gqrx on the computer because it's so quiet here. Like, there's no cell phones, hardly any cell phone service in this area. You have to go. So here's my SDR. It's this bag of wires and things, and you can see it in there. So I got the HF down converter in here, and I got the MLA amplifier. The MLA 30, you have to have that plugged in or it doesn't work. So I got a mess of wires. That's the way an SDR is. Basically, they're a mess of wires. There's not a unit that I know of that's affordable that has all this in one. So I always just have this mess of wires in a bag. Usually at home I have like a drawer. I just stash it all in. It's definitely great at night. I can hear stations, a ton more stations I think that I can actually pick up in the city. So that's been a cool experience just to have that. Well, the kid, while I'm still up, but the kids are in bed for a few hours, I can still listen to radio. So that's my radio setup for camping.
Washington and New York, take these two missiles. What do you think it's going to be? Before Russia says, enough of you.
Apocryphal stories about these women. It says as women, and as devout, not to mention eccentric and notoriously party-throwing Presbyterians. They lived and worked on the margins of more
because they care about poverty and repression. They economically strangle and attack Cuba because if socialism were allowed to succeed, people in the United States would have no reason to support capitalism. The rich want the hundred...
Estamos viendo manifestándose con esta inmigración irregular, ilegal.
subject on forest management and enable green development.
A comment and deal with it, that she would deal with, the situation better than we do, Lord. We're asking that you...
Okay, so there's all kinds of things that they...
We believe, well, we've got NATO.
For several Olympic champions who said goodbye with all the big...
Guyana. Aparte, estamos, y esto...
And all that kind of information, it really gives a human aspect to, when you say 6,000 people are buried there, it's a number. But when you start saying that there was a 6-month-old and a 1-year-old, it really puts...
military bases and a couple of key cities. Because I gotta tell you, it seems to me, and I'm just guessing,
Y eso todavía no se ha movido.
Putting on, there's some things that I compelled to do in the spirit every day. My purpose is to stand fast in the living. And
people
ain't anything back, but that's the kind of
we have to.
Put on 6160 instead of
just so that you can have this so-called harmonious, or as smooth as it can be, a kind of relationship with a whole bunch of other strangers.
Via acestui val al doilea de
Asta este în bunic. Active communication, good for you. And 29% of the students interviewed.
There's no emergency food supply in their houses.
What do you are?
You cannot from the air, that's right, Jack, because a good many tried. The railway for 500 years, they'd had enough of us, so they went back home. Yeah, but the Russians just out. Well, I heard that the Russians say they're going to bomb England. They're not going to bomb Ireland, Scotland or Wales. They're going to bomb England. You know why that is, Jack? Because they ain't got enough bombs to bomb anywhere else. They're running out.
There's a UFO flying above your house. There's an ant-top UFO above your house. There's an ant-top UFO above your house. Ah! An alien! Ah! Pesky human! We've come to rule your planet and take away your resources. I will let you keep your pesky little lives and watch your television. As long as you bow and you kneel before the UFO operator guy. And first, you have to do the truffle shuffle. Come on! Do it! Come on! Do it! Okay. Atari. Here's our campsite. So the MLA-30 and loop antenna.
There we go. We're unmuted. So thanks for joining in tonight. Tonight is a live. Anything can happen. You can have the mute button on or the desktop audio. There we go. We're unmuted. Yeah, I'll mute the YouTube video. So as I'm traveling in vector graphics orbit right here over the planet Earth, we are going to talk about SDR radios tonight. Well, particularly Gqrx, because I'm a weirdo. I'm a Linux nerd, and I'm into all this weird alternative technology. So I'm going to take a look at Gqrx. Welcome to my channel. This channel is Robbie Strike. I talk about all sorts of stuff. Anyone does anyone hear me right now in the chat room, or is it just me who's viewing this thing? It says here on YouTube that there's only one viewer now. Hopefully it's working right now. I see an ad, a 3-minute ad. Okay, no, okay, it updated the refresh, so it actually is. Close that down. Okay, so it appears that I am on. Okay, good. All right, let's bring up OBS, which is not OBS, Gqrx. There. All right. So this program here, I got it in my window manager here. It's called Gqrx. I better bring the desktop audio down just a bit because it's gonna blast. It'll be really loud, and it'll be probably difficult for you to hear. So kind of the purpose of this video is just to show you this program. It's a program that will run in Linux. It's basically a software-defined radio. It's a really easy to use front-end player. I actually prefer this in Windows. It's SDR Sharp, but I really prefer this one compared to some of the other applications that are available. That didn't work. My chat preview. We're using OBS. There's a few extra features in OBS. It's just doing weird things. Okay, whatever. But anyway, let's launch the program. So when you're playing around with this, I'm just going to go full screen. And you don't need to see my face in here. So when you're using this program, I've already kind of been using this and I preset it up, as you saw in the video if you're watching the stream beforehand. So with Gqrx, first I guess you got to plug in your SDR radio. So right now I'm using a Realtek. You'll see like that number there for the Realtek radio, which is the SDR that I'm using. It's just basically a fairly inexpensive radio. I got my input rate set, and another thing, and it's a very important thing because I'm using an Upconverter, And I'll go into, before I start launch this, I'm going to show you what an upconverter is too. So there's an LMB low, and I have it set to minus 125 thousandths of megahertz here. And the reason for that is so that I can view the HF. But what I have to do, and you'll see it up here on the LMB low, this kind of just corrects the frequency, because you could still, like, if you have it at 0, you'll still hear it, but everything will be way off frequency. And that's kind of what I discovered with this. Just wanted to maybe pull up I have it over here on my Rumble account, actually. I don't even know if it's actually still available, so just want to show you what the upconverter is. It's this let's see if I can find the video. Oh dear. You can find the video up on the internet here, because I'm just doing a search for right now. Oh, here it is. No, that's the other old video I've done. I've done quite a few videos on this topic. So it's basically what I said in the video earlier. There, you need an upconverter. Oh yeah, wait. Let's go to this video here in the show notes in my video here. I probably posted a link here. Oh yeah, loop. No, not that. The upconverter. Put that over here. I'm just gonna put a few links in my browser here. Sorry about this here, but I just want to. Now, this is one actually in stock. I didn't even check to see that when I shared it. Looks like it's available. Okay. Just OBS it into the shot, which is my Firefox. There we go. All right, so guys, so what you need to get, if you have well, first you need the RTL. I mean, there's a bunch of them online that you can get. They're like, this one's $30. It's a pretty good one. It has an SMA connector. Kind of gone through these before, but you also need something like this upconverter, and I don't know if it tells you 150K 30 megahertz HF upconverter in an aluminum case. Sometimes you can buy these things and they're available for cheaper, but it's about $20. So the thing is, with SDR, you'll need to buy the SDR radio for $30. And then it's something like this. Now it has a USB to power it, but actually it has no driver or anything to worry about. That's just so that's one thing if you want to listen to shortwave radio. I was kind of doing this stream for a friend of mine who we were talking about shortwave and how to get into it. Now this program here, Gqrx, it's available in Linux, and it's also available. Oh, it's not showing that window. It's not showing that thing here. It's also available on Mac. So if you have Linux and Mac, I guess it doesn't show the actual settings here. I guess I have to do a desktop capture. Maybe I should do that. Anyway, I'll turn on the radio. So here we go. We're on at night, and we got all of the radio. I think I could even probably see AM radio. Yeah. See, here's all the AM radio stations. And I have the audio muted. You can probably hear the static there of the background, and you'll hear the AM stations in here. Now these things are not the greatest; they're not meant for AM, but you can go as low as to AM, and then you go up to these frequencies, and you see some people talking over on the shortwave frequencies. So I didn't bring my shortwave radio down to show you, but typically, if you have a shortwave radio. The nice thing with this is you see stuff that's being transmitted in the other bands, and also you have the ability to go to you can listen to AM, or you can listen to sideband as well. Oh, it's not showing that on there. I am going to change this because I'm not liking how it Yeah, it's working for me here. And the bands down here are not peak right yet. I know I can tell that by just looking at this tonight. I don't know if I could bring this down. It's not really going to change it much if I change the LNA gain. Let's go to the higher frequencies, maybe like the 12 megahertz. Nah, they use 12 megahertz during the daytime. And we're still kind of early. Here's the CB frequencies. CB, it's kind of quiet now. It usually is quiet at night. During the daytime, I can hear the skip on CB. And I'm using the antenna I'm using is a loop antenna. I'm using the MLA antenna that I covered earlier on in this video. And but yeah, there's nothing on CB. I did record a video. I think I'll play my recording earlier where I could hear people shooting skip on CB. Yeah, so just to see what's on live right now. Probably it's 8 o'clock now, so probably as things change later on. And this is I don't know if there's a lot of activity over here. Bring the audio up here. Yeah, I'm hearing like other language stuff here from around the world, radio from around the world. I don't want to. Lots of Spanish stuff. So that's interesting. What's over on 7 megahertz at this time? I'm gonna fix my my view here from. Get my mouse on the transition button here. Another thing I wanted to show you guys. Is there anyone in the chat room? Ken, okay. Can I show that? No, there's no way of showing that. See, I'm using Restream to send this video, but it's I'm using OBS, so it doesn't do the features. But I wanted with Restream, I can't play the audio off my computer, but on OBS I can do a lot more. But it's a little trickier, and I'm doing everything myself, trying to host the show and talk OBS at the same time. General. Yeah, we're also on Discord tonight. I'll show you my Discord server. So yeah, if you're on Discord, you can find me. I have a link. I posted it in the chat room over in the YouTube chat, and you can join there. I guess there's no one in the voice chat right now. I'm not opening up the chat right now. I'm just sort of. I will do that later on. I'm just kind of going through my whole Gqrx presentation, and then we'll open up chat if anyone wants to chat, or we'll pack it in. It's no big deal for me. Let's see here. There we go. Another thing I'd like to recommend is it's no longer available. Is the MLA 30 antenna. They have that here in eBay, which usually they sell them. There's a magnetic loop antenna that's not the MLA. Maybe it's a higher quality build. The MLA is like a really inexpensive antenna. It's not that. I think it's like I forget what I paid for it. It was definitely worthwhile buying. Yeah, but there's a whole lot of SDR stuff here on eBay. eBay's your friend when you want to get this kind of weird technology stuff that you don't go into Radio Shack. You go to eBay and you find this stuff. Well, that's a good price for that. Tiny Spectrum Analyzer. That's a pretty good price for that. And these like SDR radios that are kind of like your pocket radios, but they have the video display. Which room? Discord, thanks. It should be the satellite room, just like the open voice chat. is what Ken asked. And can I show that at all? I think I can. If I do this and then do this. Yeah, there we go. So now we can look at Gqrx, and I can kind of show you what I was trying to show earlier, and then it didn't pop up just because I didn't have my settings correctly. Is your input settings for all this? So copy, producing a show. Well, Gqrx. Alright, I'm just going to put it in here for now. Control V. There we go. I'm just going to pop up in this screen here. Okay, so I can look at that thing. Oh, this way. Oh, yeah. I'm looking at it. Okay, I'm looking at the configure IQ settings. Okay. I love this program. All right, so here's the Realtek, which you couldn't see earlier, and it has like the different options. And then the thing that is kind of annoying when you set up this program is it'll have all this other stuff, this RP stuff, and it makes no sense, and it doesn't work. And you don't get your working radio, so you have to make sure that you select your Realtek. I've even had new computers where I had to like unplug it and reinstall it. So it shows the device. The input rate, I typically have it at 180,000. I don't know how bad with numbers. Dissemination is like none. And bandwidth is 0, and the LMB low. This is the important thing. It's kind of like your LMB settings on your satellite. You have to have an input rate, and this is actually minus 125. I think I've also had about minus 150 just to have it right on frequency for when you're setting up your radio. I'm not a radio expert. I'm kind of like a novice on radio and on Linux, but I love this stuff. So we're getting to like explore this wonderful weird technology together. And also, another thing, if it doesn't come up when you plug it in, do the device scan button. And hopefully your Realtek will pop up. And the cool thing is with this is you can hook, if you don't use Linux and you're like a Windows user, but you might have like an old computer kicking around, you can install like Linux Mint or Ubuntu on it, and even like a light version of Ubuntu, and run a program like this. Because like, for example, if you can't surf the internet with it, this is not a very taxing program. So, like, you can get some use out of an old computer using this program, too, and it does a lot of really cool stuff. So you're saying 9 megahertz for WMRI out of Florida? I don't know if I said the frequency the right way or not. I'm just going to move my head over here because there's nothing going on in this area. So, yeah, it's... anything else in the chat room? I can make that bigger because that's kind of, yeah, that's better. Audio is gone. Oh, sorry. There's no audio input there, right here. There is here. Hello. Now we have audio. This is the fun thing about OBS. There is audio and all that good stuff. So thanks, Keegan. Yeah, the audio was gone. They're about around 9 megahertz, eh? So that's where I'm at about now. Now it's at 9 point, like 9. This would be like 9.2. Is that could be someone talking? I'm not sure. What's this one? Hopefully it's not music. Yeah, it's music, so I'll just bring that down. We don't want to be putting music. Is that the one 9.87? 9.870? Is that the one that has that could be a WMR? I'm not sure. Do a Google search for it. I'm clicking on the wrong side. What do you say there? I have it in my shot here. WMRI. Do Google search. Google. WMRI. Wikipedia. Now they're AM, but they're also on shortwave. Now this is the great resource where you can find out all sorts of stuff about radio stations. Is Wikipedia. 1,000 watts. Did I say the right name? AM, FM, LLC, WRMRI, FM. Did I type in the right name and station? Let's see here. Control F. Short wave. Doesn't say anything but short wave. Thinks it's around. Yeah, voice chat room for Saturday night. I'll bring it up now. Is there anything else I wanted to go over? Listen live. A lot of radio stations. That's a nice thing too. Is radio stations have like a listen live option, so you can like just basically stream the station on the internet. They have no. Oh yeah, it's just a player, a little play button. Another thing I wanted to show you guys is no, not Sharp. What's the thing there that's called a SDR radio? WebSDR.org is a great site, great resource for this sort of thing. So like, I think there's a Utah one which is really good. So if you don't have an SDR, you go to this site here, websdr.org. University. This one might be all right. And it's basically showing the equipment that they have. And here's the waterfall. So you can actually just sit online and listen to a lot of the bands. I don't know if this thing can... Are you zoomed in here? I don't know if I want to start. Just bring the audio down. I hear it really loud here.
To private brands, right? Some branded merchandise can be returned to a distributor or a manufacturer, but many
basically what happens there is their radio actually works better than my little cheap SDR. They probably have a lot better quality equipment than what I have. So that's the cool thing about WebSDR. If you're just working like online, go to WebSDR. They are a great channel or great little thing for that sort of thing. We have chat room here. I'll just cut to this. This is the Yahoo chat room. I think there's other chats here. How do I? Well, here I'll go. Chat. There we go. Yeah, we had audio issues. Yeah. The way things are going, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And topics, and you hear a lot about that. Like the doom and gloom stuff is like some of the people that you might listen to on shortwave and or even on the internet. Yeah, like that's one thing I'd like to have shortwave all the setup for, and definitely like a radio that would protect against like an EMP or even like a coronal ejection from the sun, right? Like that could knock out a lot of the planet's power system, which we're very reliant on technology. Imagine if something like that were to happen. Keegan says, "Hey Robbie, I run a 24/7 audio upload from the NOAA weather radio from SDR++. However, it likes to crash every few days. Any better apps that are more reliable?" Not that I know of. All this stuff, my experience is, it does have its quirks. It is buggy at times, but I mean, I just live with that. I mean, it's just what I've found in that I have to live with. This website here for WebSDR, there's a lot of stations there that are available. So check that out if you don't have an SDR or you don't have Gqrx. I like playing around with my own system because if there was an internet, I could still get a few stations with that. So go back to this guy here, Gqrx camera. Just gonna move my likeness here. I'm just trying to, let's go to Gqrx, bring that up, and there we are. Yeah, just it sounds like some musical stuff. And 5085 WTWW. I believe they're they went off air, but they still have a scripture for America there, I believe. They had there's a lot of stations like that are out there that are like Christian stations like WWCR and stations like, I think this is WWCR.
Otherwise deflect the parent's inquiry and send the letter to type assigned by the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. This just boggles the mind. As I read this further, it gets more and more wacky.
I think this is a WWCR, so I'm gonna if I can zoom in on it here too. Another thing is you just hold your mouse over it, you can zoom in on the frequency. And I'll add a bookmark. I'm pretty sure this is the nighttime WWCR. Now, how to add a bookmark? It should be... One thing I haven't really figured out with this is how to do some of these features, the streaming. I don't know why I haven't figured that out, but I played around with it and it just wasn't working the way I thought it was, and I've tried to find tutorials online how to do that, but I had no luck. Looks like there's some possible sideband activity here. I can tune it in. Go to lower sideband. Whoops. That's another nice thing with this is it does have, so say if you have like a shortwave radio, you can get AM. Another feature this has, which I really like, is it has the AM sync. So like say you clicked on here, bring up the audio here. And it breaks down the noise. It's going to sound a lot better at night. Daytime, I hear a ton of static.
Well, that concludes episode 37 of the Air and Wave radio show. Quite a stack of stuff. Hard for me to believe that we're in the middle of World War III right now. It's hard for me to believe that teachers can get fired for.
So yeah, this is basically WWCR. I mean, I had this stuff like years ago when I had a shortwave radio. I didn't have cable, and that's what I listened to. I just listened to, you know, a lot of shortwave stations, and it's. But now it's like with the Gqrx, it's pretty cool. You can hear talk radio. I like talk radio. You can hear talk radio from all over the place. What's this bookmark here? Just the same one. I may have used the frequency corrector at one point. Where is that? Frequency correction. So like, for example, if you know it's off frequency by a little bit, say like for example here, you can get like a right on frequency if you need that. And I'm gonna see if there's anything going on here in the these bands here. Is this phone handband. So this is kind of cool where you can hear. Let's see, get this thing centered here. You can hear people, and usually they're on lower sideband. I'm not like a radio expert, but I like radio, and this is kind of a cool feature with these SDRs. You can listen to hear people from all over. Just gonna look, see if I can see some. Yeah, I have no rhythm either for Morse code. So it's real interesting stuff. Like that's what you just witnessed there is like kind of what it's like to be able to tune in some like to be able to tune in the HF stuff, because you have to kind of move it around and tune it until you hear people talking. Kind of different than a scanner, I guess. But I don't know. I think this is really cool stuff playing around with. And another thing, what I do is I use No Machine. So I'll have this computer, but I'll have my laptop upstairs, and sometimes I'll listen to the shortwave radio, and it's all rigged up to the antenna that I'm using for this. I wonder if this station is going to pop up. Oh, I'm clicking on that. So I don't know if there's like any more louder signal coming on here. And what you'll see is like you'll see in the waterfall where there is noise. Could be more in here too, because there tends to be. That's why it looks more active. And I don't know, not much going on there. It's like when you try to demo something, it's like it's not going to work for you. At least Gqrx is not crashing on me right now. Man, that's a good thing. Let's pop into our Discord server. Kurt's in there. I don't know if he's going to say anything, but we're on the Discord server, and let's log into this thing here. When you go to Discord, whoops, log up, bring up Discord. Go to voice chat. So if you want to chat it with me via voice, there's like this thing here with Discord where we can do that. Here we go. Bring up the voice chat room here. Is that loading up? Yep, it is. Kurt, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I think you're on there with us. I'm gonna just if anyone wants to join us in the Discord server, that's kind of like it's my poor man's call-in radio. I can't afford an extra phone number, so we just use Discord, and you can kind of call in and be a participant of the radio show. Actually, I wonder if I can use my 4K capture grid. I wonder, would that work? No, it wouldn't. Bummer. I was hoping it would use like my grid. You know, I love this grid background. It's just like a GIF, but GIF file, but it plays like grid in the background. And if you guys can hear it, Kurt, do you use shortwave, or are you more in the satellite, or?
No, well, I have a couple Radio Shack. Which number is it? 395. It's the digital one, and I do have an SDR radio. I have the silver USB dongle from, what is it? The
Realtek. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been a little while since I've played with them, but yeah, I've got them.
Yeah, if you just buy it standalone, you can get like your radio frequencies from like 30 megahertz. Actually, you can listen to CB without the Upconverter. You can listen into the CB radio, but you're pretty much going to get like from 30 megahertz all the way up for when it comes to radio frequencies. But I mean, it's great for like you can if you like a scanner, you can listen into a lot of like traffic if there is still. But I know there is digital modes, and you can get plugins with Gqrx.
I did do the HD radio on FM. I did play with that a couple times. I had that loaded up.
So you can do HD radio on that, eh?
Well, for FM band, yeah, I can see them, and then I can go to the side, you know, the subcarriers or whatever you call them.
Oh yeah, what software did you use?
Let me go to my other computer and go find it here.
Yeah.
This is all under Windows, and
I'd like to get back into Windows. I got frustrated with Windows because I was using the SDR Sharp, and you had to keep installing the driver, which is really annoying. We're in Gqrx, and it could just be a bad install or something going funky.
Yeah, SDR Sharp. Yeah, that's what
Yeah, because I'd like to listen to, but I don't want to buy, like, there's only a few HD radios on the market, and there is a couple HD.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to spend like a couple $100 for a few radio stations when I can just listen to them online.
Exactly.
But if they had like a worthwhile amount, like I just go with my shortwave. I have satellite radio as another way how I listen to a lot of talk radio. And do we have? Oh, there's more. So we're monitoring like a couple chat rooms here. There's the Yahoo chat, and then there's the we're running Discord. Just hey, whatever. It's Saturday night. JR says years ago I had a mini CIA receiver where it had modules to swap frequency bands. You converted a low frequency to high microwave bands with a tiny CRT tube. Yeah, so probably like one of those, some type of special radio there. Yeah. Yeah, so this is over on Discord. I think we're streaming to Twitter and to Twitch, which I know no one uses Twitch, like who watches my videos. I only have like 2 subscribers on Twitch. I get most of my viewers on YouTube. Last time I did do a stream, I was playing around with, what was it, Rumble. Rumble's like another video platform that's out there. But the thing I found with them is they're kind of newer compared to YouTube. And I tried to schedule a stream, but I couldn't schedule it in the evening, only in mornings. So I don't know. They're not up to snuff, I guess, with a lot of their programming for their website. And Kurt's gone off to
No, I'm here.
Find the program that he was using. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was SDR.
Yeah, actually,
Sharp.
I'll come back in a couple minutes. I'm going to go grab my radio so that I can actually list them out for you. So give me a couple minutes. I'll be back.
I'm going to look at the Gqrx and see what's on there. You know, I'll play it quietly, and then I'll set it up to show you the CB radio stuff that I recorded earlier today. I'll play that on my VLC setup. So maybe we can find like some HF stuff. I think some people would think that's kind of interesting, where there's people talking on HF. They're being like, "Hey, how come you're restreaming my stuff on YouTube?" Anyway, is this where they're active? I guess it's getting more active here. I can see that they're more active over here on these bands here. You can see people talking over here. It all depends on how well it comes in. Don't think things are coming in very good there right now.
Any reception?
Just I'm on a band here that's probably not like as great as it could be right now. There's probably more people talking over here in the 39 area.
Yeah, 39 down in Ohio. Sorry. thought you would laugh at it. I actually saw a cocaine bear today with my friend.
There we go. How did you like Cocaine Bear, Wolf?
Like, I know everyone here on this server was talking about it.
I was talking about Cocaine Bear. I saw the preview. I was like, I really want to see that movie.
Well, I thought it was just...
It's dumb. It's like Sharknado dumb, but I think I'd like that kind of a movie.
Yeah.
It's the sort of stupid thing that I would like. Like it's over the top. And
I knew I got a jump scare.
Yeah, and it's like you think of the bald-headed bear from the movie The Great Outdoors with John Candy.
Never saw it.
Oh yeah, well anyway. He shoots it with a plug-in rifle that's a lamp or whatever. Anyway, from The Great Outdoors, starring John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. I'm gonna play this radio here for a bit. I'm gonna show, and then I'm gonna go to my CB recording from today.
Oh, I found my radios.
I do have two realistic ones. One is corroded, the other is not. You know. Realistic, Radio Shack.
Oh yeah, no, it looks like Robbie's going off to do something else.
No, if you guys are going to talk about radio, yeah, are you going to put it on your camera there? I can bring it up and then just sort of we'll sit back and I just want to get the video from earlier today. VLC, let's type it in here. VLC CB radio, and I'll just delete it when I'm done with it.
And I'm shooting arrows at a television. I thought anyone would laugh.
So I've got my realistic radio. The one I leave next to my bed is the DX350. It's a small 9-band, 10-band. That's 10 band. Well, 9 shortwave, and then standard AM, and then AM broadcast and FM.
Let me just say this. I have two realistics. It's an AM, FM, shortwave, and longwave with FM stereo on it.
Oh.
And it can also receive Morse codes, which I'm not good at either.
Is this an analog radio, I take it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a dial, you got a tuning dial and all that.
You have a digital display, and it has a clock.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my other...
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, another one I have is I have a DX... It's a much bigger radio. This is digital. That's a DX-392.
I'm gonna get my radio. Just tell me where you are.
Pull out all the radios.
Yeah.
I did find my shortwave one, my software-defined radio one too. It's a silver box from RTL-SDR.com. It's got the Upconverter built into it. It's an RTL 28332U R8202T. So I've got one of those, and then I've also got it like a black box. There's a different one I got off eBay. I mean, this is like 5+ years ago at least. And this one's it's got a USB cable into it, and it's got 2 antenna inputs. One's HF and one's UV. And it's a much bigger. It's a black box, and it's got pictures. It's got a picture of a of a waterfall, and both the front and back of it.
We're back. Now, back on show.
Yeah, I think I was showing that on eBay there. Yeah, I'll play a clip of what I was doing with CB earlier today. If this will work, we'll see how it works. Oh, part here is interesting because we got some CB radio.
All the CB around Big Man praying for him. We praying hard. Hey, 120. I'm praying from Big Man. Back quiet.
So we're gonna start with some CB radio. So it is almost 2:40 in the afternoon. So the skip on CB is there's a lot going on there. So I'm just gonna switch over here, full camera. There we go. Switch over to Gqrx full here, and I'm just gonna bring up the audio. So that's CB there, and just gonna sort of sit back, and I'll play back some of the CB stuff, and we'll see what we can tune in.
Hey, Sean, probably working, man.
This being like 2:40 in the afternoon, I'm just gonna go through the bands just to see what we can see on this time in the morning and just time of the day.
The Blackberry got down.
Les drones iraniens, oui, ont donné des résultats au début, mais il semble en fait que ce soit aujourd'hui moins le cas. Oui, Moscou se retourne un petit peu vers tout le monde et se trouve dans une situation difficile, c'est indéniable. Alors on verra le fameux plan de paix qui est censé présenter la Chine, qui se présente comme une puissance neutre dans ce conflit et qui ne l'est pas tout à fait. Raison de mettre en garde dernièrement.
Kind of like it'll take a second or two to kick in.
Sabemos lo que pasaste después de haber firmado la llamada declaración de los intelectuales.
And the best way probably to find things on the AM mode is just actually go to your regular AM mode. The AM sync will kind of like it'll take a second or two to kick in.
De la intelectualidad cubana que asumió y tuvo la osadía de el totalitarismo cubano.
And around nighttime, usually these like there's a lot more. You'll see a lot more stuff, little blips in the radio waves at night. This is pretty quiet there on that one. Certain bands work better at different times of days. So here is the 80 meter. There's probably some people talking in here. Let's see if we can pull something in. It can normally with any like the car AM radio, this radio station will come in just fine. But when but during the daytime, the AM stations don't really come in very well with this. But at nighttime, I'll see the AM stations kind of kicking in, and kicking around, and not much happening up here right now. So that's the little video there I got of it during the daytime. Change my settings here. So now it's 720p, but I didn't have to change any of my 1080p settings, so that's cool. So that's a big... So I'll just bring it back to this. Audio's in. Okay, yeah, we got audio. So just sort of playing around with this. Where is Discord? Here. Yeah, so that's that was like just a video I did earlier, just to look at like what was on CB radio. Some people in the chat room there. Shortwave's okay, but I prefer shortwave next to 2 meter LL 2 meter. Oh yeah. Got rid of my smart crystal radio, not sure why. Yeah, you always want to get rid of something and then you find out you really need it. Yeah, no kidding. 4K capture. That's this one here. There actually was, while I was playing the video, there was people chatting on here. Where is that thing? Guess it helps if I have the audio up.
Have a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to talking to you next time. Harold, how are you doing? And welcome in again tonight.
So you said you like 2 meter. What is 2 meter anyway? I'm kind of thrown off. Let's see here. So 10 meter. 10 meter is above CB. This is 80 meter, so that's like pretty high, pretty like a pretty long antenna to like for the lower frequencies. Like with this, I used to have like one of those really long wires that come with a shortwave radio, and then you'd hang it over your window, and it actually worked a lot better. You got further reception with that. And then this station, which, yeah, it's about an hour at Paso.
Great if you could harness the sun's energy, find the key to world peace, and make your mother-in-law move out. Sure. The only problem is you don't have the cerebral capacity to manipulate the central body in the solar system. You're not an expert in worldly negotiations, and you can't tie your mother-in-law with
This is good old WWCR. Even with like some of like the smallest radios, I usually can pull in WWCR in my area. I hear music here. And, oh, that's WBCQ. I should log that. I want to log that. The Planet WBCQ, which is probably what I want to do now, is like make it where it looks like it makes sense.
Yep, I've got that on my DX 392. Yeah, 392.
WBCQ. Whoop. There you go. Play.
January, the year of our Lord, 2023. Lord Jesus,
They were on satellite, but they're no longer on satellite on SFA. So I'm gonna go. So there's probably Pastor Scott. Yeah. That's probably Pastor Melissa Scott speaking. Kind of staticky, and that's with the AM sync on. Yeah, it will come in better later. I could probably. Sometimes with the gain on this, it all depends on the radio. It might have a sweet spot for the gain, so like maybe it might be like 20 or 18, and then you can eliminate a lot of the static and noise.
It's not to say that we will have, like some present the gospel and say you will have open above it's pouring out on the rocks, shaking, and it's over and it's spilling everywhere. And that's how they present God's division. But I see God's division this way.
トルコは地震で辛い思いを何度もして
as well as building fellowship within the community.
KBS is like, I guess what you hear a lot right now is like a lot of end of the world, end time stuff, like prepare yourself, repent of your sins, and on shortwave. And I mean, these people 20 years ago were saying stuff that sounded far-fetched, but now it's like they were right 20 years ago about a lot of things.
Yeah, oversimplified logos are just ruining everything. Crappy appliances are ruining our lives. Media companies buy out media companies.
That does suck. A lot of media companies buying media companies, that's for sure.
Like, you know, for example, Warner Brothers buys New Line Cinema. Disney buys Fox. Universal buys Warner Brothers.
Well, everyone buys everybody, I guess. I bet you anything this over here is all sorts of noise. I'm just going to put the chat room for the Yahoo chat room, just so if someone wants to say something, I can bring it up. So what is this? This is probably like data bands. Oh yeah, another thing that there is on these radios is the slow scan TV. So you can get a program. Oh, I'm way on the other side of the spectrum here. Here, I'll just put that there and just zoom it out, and maybe just bring this up. There we go. 9. There. So this is that coming through all this R2D2 sounding stuff. There.
That really hurted me. Sorry. You think you did a good job, Timothy?
There is people talking in here too. Oh yeah, there's always people on the 7. That's not real powerful.
That's not real powerful.
I don't know, maybe our antennas are seeing each other at negative lobes or something. Who knows?
Another thing you'll hear is a lot of people talking about antennas. Now, what's this frequency here?
Era Marvin que no se ha hecho presente por acá. Sí, Pietro, estaba diciendo que tú sales más temprano ahora.
This is Delta Charlie 1, Mike. Last regular 5555, Roger.
Ese radio está bueno, Marvin.
TV or two, I think we would make a go of it, Over.
Bueno, pues vamos a escuchar a Jorge. Austin, en el mismo estado de Texas. Yo lo decía al principio del programa, si hay alguien que sabe de energía.
Electric radio phonograph by a small sapphire jewel.
And he went off the air here. Anyway, so quite like as the night goes on, like usually the stations will come in clearer as it gets darker because it tends to.
Shortwave.
Yeah. Bring your. Maybe fix your audio there.
Who, me?
Yeah, Mr. Wolfer.
Is my phone getting crapped?
I don't know. Whoop, are you okay? He disappeared. Maybe he restarted his. UVB76 is on Tracy Piper 42 megahertz. I'll bring that up there if you want me to take a look at that. So it's 46 megahertz. 46. Is that upper sideband or lower sideband? I'm just looking at this here. So UVB 76 question 46 295. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is number stations. So that's the crazy thing about shortwave. Like they believe it's like spies, where it's just some woman's voice that like says numbers randomly. It's a transmission that'll be like for about a minute, and there'll be a bunch of numbers, and it's always been a mystery of what exactly that is. It's just this mystery station. There's also pirate radio stations. So 40. So I'm in 20, 25. There is something here. It's very, very weak.
So in Discord, we hear you, Robbie. We don't hear the radio.
Yes, you'll have to be on the stream because that's another thing with Discord. Yeah, because my SDR, my radio output, it's pretty much going to go to the live stream. But yeah, I remember last time we were trying to, I was trying to show this over Discord, but I couldn't put the audio out, so that's why I was doing a live stream for it. I don't know if anyone's still on this or even interested in this. I think I got a few people that I know that would probably watch content that's on my channel that would think this is very interesting. And there's other people that'd be like, that's radio. Radio's boring. I want to watch TV, you know. I want to go on the internet.
Is my audio working?
It is. Let me bring you up a bit there, Wolf. So someone mentioned this frequency here, but I don't see anything happening, at least from where I'm at. Another thing, too, is I got to take into account is my antenna that I use. The MLA80 antenna that I use is it's good for some frequencies, but it's not good for all the frequencies. But what the antenna, that antenna is, it kind of is an antenna that you can get like a range of the frequencies, but you don't get all. You wouldn't get all the frequencies, but it's a nice for me. It's a good antenna, just for playing around with this stuff. Yeah, like my dream setup would obviously be like antennas all over the place, but I probably also want to live not in a city as well. It probably would make me want to write my radio test to be licensed, maybe to I don't really care about talking on radio. I find radio fascinating, but I don't necessarily want to talk on radio. Go back to this Gqrx thingy. Is Discord still going there? There we go. Let me fix that was weird. Oh, okay. So there's a Discord and there's the thing there. Wolf.
Yeah.
There you are. Let me bring your audio up here. Do you have a shortwave radio, Wolf?
Yeah, I have a shortwave.
Yeah.
He's got the Radio Shack DX440.
Radio Shack DX440. What's that? Is that like a digital radio?
Yeah.
What?
He was showing it a while ago, but yeah.
What did I just saw? it was nothing. It was an episode of Family Guy, and for some reason they actually referenced the Orion logo on the TV. See, Robbie? From Radio Shack.
Here we go. I got here. It's in the show notes. The antenna that I use.
Antennas, energizers. I mean, have you ever seen this model, Robbie?
Oh, we got it there. No.
This could do short wave.
Cool. Yeah. Does it do upper and lower sideband?
Well, it says FM, low wave, mid wave, and AM. And the AM is completely a higher number. Come on, stupid camera.
Yeah, it does, Robbie. It's got a BFO on it. I see the dial on the bottom.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Over to the right, yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be good. It probably has an external antenna input too. A lot of those radios are really good for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what you
Radio.
want. Yeah, Radio Shack would add that, yeah. Oh, yeah, if you want to join us in the chat room, you can join on the Discord. I think I posted a link to it over at the beginning of this video, and you can join in and chat through Discord. Discord's great. There's a satellite group. There is a radio group. I don't moderate it. Paul Stringer moderates that, but I think I have a link to it. There's a shortwave radio group. And, but anyway, I didn't leave the group, did I? No, I just moving around, looking around Discord. Okay, maybe later. I don't know what that is, but I don't care.
I want to ask you a question. So, my family doesn't have any plans for spring break. Well, Nathan, that's my brother. He's going to the south for spring break with his school for vacation. I don't know why, and I have an idea of going back to Maine again. Well, the second time since July of 2021.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And do this in the spring break. I mean, there's only one thing that I'm just paranoid with this vacation home in Maine. One of my friends, the sister that owns it, she's just too sophisticated. This is her property, and she can tell me and their friend, me and my friend, and my friend's parents, the way they should, most likely. I mean, they're just sophisticated. Yeah, because this is her property. Well, not my friend's, but really the vacation homeowner's property. This is a house that's not on the university.
No, we got AM here, and I guess there's one station 10:30 AM, but it's not gonna come in very good now. But I think these stations over here, these 12s, I'm getting more. I think because there's so much interference here, but I could probably pick up skip, which would be a AM skip over here. As it gets later, here, this one's strong here. I'll bring up the audio. Sometimes further on in the night it works better. I guess the time change will affect this as we go into March. The second week of March, we go into the time change, which will be great for me. I mean, I'm looking forward to the time change because it means my work will be done an hour early. Yeah. What's this stuff here? This 520. very low band stuff. It's not really talking. It's like just beeping.
It's like the rules of this homeowner's house. This is not. This is a private vacation home, and like my friend, she goes to me multiple times a year.
And
Because like the parents are like strangers, and they have a TV, but they can only watch like DVDs and Blu-rays instead of like getting an antenna. But as I said, this is her property. But I mean, not knowing that over-the-air TV is free, but just like she doesn't care, and neither the house has any internet. The cell service is so scarce in the area.
English language, or whatever. Salvation, what is it except the reflectivity or the knowledge of who your salvation is? But no, it's in the name. As the flesh came and rose the sacrifice of Yahweh, he robed himself in flesh as a combining of great glory. And in that name it shows the combining of that sacrifice. Yahweh Yahshua, the great glory and power. The dwelling place, he that dwells in the secret place of the Most High, and his glory and power and righteousness. For his name, in the name. In his name, Yahweh, amen, Jehovah, amen, is my strength and my song, and has become my Yeshua. But Yeshua just reflects salvation. Salvation. And I know a lot of the Jewish people will say, well, that's just like the nickname, just like, someone's Matthew, you would call him Pat, and sometimes you say this and that. But it's just a salvation. To me, it doesn't bring forth the combining of the great glory that is there. Understand Isaiah 96. It's kind of, we're missing the completion. Not to try to be geeky about it or whatever. We're trying to couple together so we understand God is not a trinity. God is not multiple gods. He's singularity. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And in, amen.
So this looks like it's WMRI, and you have to say the Lord's name the right way because just looking it up here online. You have to say the Lord's name the right way or you're going to hell. If you say it the wrong way, all that.
Robbie?
Yeah.
Let me just tell you this. It has nothing to do with what you say, but did you heard about Teletoon? Well, in your country, Teletoon is actually being rebranded to Cartoon Network.
RMI, WRMI.
I know you don't have cable, or your Canadian version of it.
Yeah, there's like a Canadian version of it. I don't know if it's like what it would be called, Teletoon maybe.
Well, it's actually called Teletoon. It's like the Canadian version of Cartoon Network. But I heard that channel is going to be rebranded into an actual Cartoon Network.
Oh yeah.
And everyone on Twitter is really upset. And everyone in Canada is really upset too.
Yeah, everyone is upset about that. I mean,
because about the original shows, like Total Drama. Have you ever seen that show? It's a parody of Survivor.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen Total Drama?
No.
It was an animated parody of Survivor.
Oh, okay, animated. No, I don't think I've seen that one.
It was a cartoon.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not big into animation, although I don't mind animation. Animation's cool. Here, I'm gonna figure out what this station is here. So that was WMRI, as I'm exploring shortwave radio. That's music. I don't know
what
that.
software are you using, Robbie? You probably mentioned at the beginning, but I missed it.
Gqrx.
Okay, thanks.
And I just wanted to bring up. So this, I looked it up, and it was WMRI on this frequency. Let's pop a tab out here. How did I bring that up to my YouTube chat? There we go. So yeah, this site here, it has shortwave schedules, and yeah, definitely would. I've heard WMRA on the radio a lot. So where you want to find, oh yeah, it types in the frequency too. You can figure out what you're at. And then there's another one here I want to type in. So it's 998 90, I believe 90. It had music on it. Voice of Korea. Would that sound about right? Would that come in in my area? Could be. I'll copy and paste that into my bookmark here. It gives me an idea of what I'm listening to. There we go. Oops, did that. This is kind of cool. This site though, it's kind of like Linksat, where it for radio, because they credit people who have reported it or whatever, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What else is there? There's a station here. Oops, clicking on the wrong thing here. Where is Gqrx? There we go. Open that window here. So somebody's talking. Whoop. This would be 95. I don't know if it's worthwhile bringing up the audio. Really can't make out what that one's saying, but 9.50. Let's take a look here and see what. Voice of China. So it's coming from China. It's probably that's why it's so faint. And there we go. So there we go. Anyway, so this is just my playing around with Gqrx. I love this software. This is awesome. Find all the radio stations from around the world. There's a lot of them too. Like with this equipment that I got, I could pick up a lot, and I can monitor CB as well. One thing about CB is nobody uses CB in my area anymore. We should need to have like a CB radio club. We used to have those. There is an active amateur radio club, but
It's died. Sorry.
No, the amateur radio club is actually I think it's fairly active, but yeah, I used to tune in my scanner, and also the duplex mode or the simplex mode frequencies. There's people that talk on those from time to time. I can hear them on the scanner. Well, on my Gqrx, you can use Gqrx for that. You just type in the duplex frequency. I don't have it set up here for that, but you can do that. Yeah, so yeah, it's a fun thing to do is buy yourself a like one of these MLA 30 antennas, get the MLA 30 Plus. This is like the one that that I got. I got both of them, and I'm just gonna bring up a picture of it. Get them on eBay. What's this? $30. It's just not really a bad price either. That's US though, but oh, this side it was out of stock. But you can still find them on, like, if I go here. So this link is a dead link, but here's another one for $35 on eBay. And basically it just comes like in an envelope, and it comes with the power, the amplifier and all this. And you put it together, and you can just like put the MLA on like a stick and put it out your window, and it will probably increase your shortwave reception. I'm actually quite happy with mine. Well, the interesting thing too is I'm like doing this. I'm in my basement, so like I can't get anything in my basement with a shortwave radio. But if I have this is up. I have this up on my TV antenna, so I can pull in a lot more shortwave radio stations. Now, if I had a better antenna set up, I'd probably get more. But this is kind of like my dive into this hobby. You know, it's like a starter into the hobby. So it's kind of fun to play around with. Yeah. Anyway, anywho, I think we'll I'll check the chat room. I'm gonna wrap this stream up, and we'll just finish this up for now. Not much going on over in the chat room.
Yeah.
I'll hang out over in Discord for a little bit after, and we can hang out there if you want. That's on the satellite Discord. I think I had an invite if you're in the Yahoo chat, or not the Yahoo chat, the YouTube chat. I put a link at the top of the chat when the stream started. Okay, anyway. I'm getting tired. I'm stumbling. So, yeah, there's the chat room there. Yeah, so we'll end this and talk to you guys in another time there. Here's my... I played this at the beginning, but I'll play it again. It's... what was this? I went camping. And we had I brought my computer with me in our tent trailer, and I listened to our this is the shortwave radio, because out in the campsite it was so quiet out there that I pulled in stations probably better. But that's also with the MLA 30 Plus antenna. So I never plugged my Patreon. So if you really like my YouTube content, there's a link in the bottom of this video. If you want to support me over on Patreon, $5 a month to make this content. If you want me to do a tutorial specifically for your use that I can do, I'll be happy to do that for you. I don't know. I don't mind helping people with this stuff. But this is something you really got to have. Have a shortwave radio. You never know if, all communications may be out for a while. It's good to have that as a backup. Keep it wrapped up in tinfoil, just in case there's an EMP. Yeah.
They got scared with the door closed.
So I'm going to go to VLC. I'll play this video again, and I'll let that play us out. And thank you for watching tonight. We'll be over in the Discord chat if you want to chat. Have a good night. So the MLA 30 and loop antenna, I put it up on the roof. Well, not the roof, but I got a pole next to the trailer. And so the wire for it, the wire that came with it, goes down here. The pole
and then I have it running up through the tent trail. Pretty easy, just to undo the tent, run it into the tent, and just run it inside. And I got my software-defined radio in there. So I have it hooked up to my computer, and you can see that I got 9330 on, and pulling in pretty good signal on that one. Now it's 10 a.m. so obviously in the morning there's not as many stations. At night there's a lot more stations that you'll hear. I'll have a screen cap of this going at night, but definitely I'm at the Charleston Lake Provincial Park campsite, and it is I'm just gonna bring him down. So compared to being in the city, the signal quality is really well. And as I said, from the outside I got like this zipper here, and I can reach out to where the pole is right there, and I can turn my antenna. So I got a just rabbit ears antenna, just to mainly pull in FM stations. This is actually a real dead zone. That's what makes this a great area for playing radio with my SDR stuff. I'm running Gqrx on the computer because it's so quiet here. Like, there's no cell phones, hardly any cell phone service in this area. Like, you have to go. So here's my SDR. It's this bag of wires and things, and you can see it in there. So I got the HF down converter in here, and I got the MLA amplifier. The MLA 30, you have to have that plugged in or it doesn't work. So I got a mess of wires. That's the way an SDR is. Basically, they're a mess of wires. There's not a unit that I know of that's affordable that has all this in one. So I always just have this mess of wires in a bag. Usually at home I have like a drawer. I just stash it all in. It's definitely great at night. I can hear stations, a ton more stations I think that I can actually pick up in the city. So that's been a cool experience just to have that. Well, the kid, while I'm still up, but the kids are in bed for a few hours, I can still listen to the radio. So that's my radio setup for camping.
Washington and New York, take these two missiles. Well, what do you think it's going to be? Before Russia says, enough of you.
Apocryphal stories about these women. It says as women, and as devout, not to mention eccentric and notoriously party-throwing Presbyterians. They lived and worked on the margins of more...
ecológicos, etcétera, todas las cosas que sabes que van.
Because they care about poverty and repression. They economically strangle and attack Cuba because if socialism were allowed to succeed, people in the United States would have no reason to support capitalism. The rich want the hundred...
Estamos viendo manifestándose con esta inmigración irregular, ilegal.
Subject on forest management, enable energy and green development.
Comment and deal with it as you would deal with, the situation better than we do, Lord. We're asking that you...
Okay, so there's all kinds of things that they
believe. Well, we've got NATO.
For several Olympic champions who said goodbye with all the big...
Guyana. Aparte, estamos, y esto...
And all that kind of information, it really gives a human aspect to, when you say 6,000 people are buried there, it's a number. But when you start saying that there was a 6-month-old and a 1-year-old, it really puts...
military bases and a couple of key cities. Because I gotta tell you, it seems to me, and I'm just guessing,
en los temas que...
Y eso todavía no se ha movido.
Putting on, there's some things that I'm compelled to do in the spirit every day.
My purpose is to stand fast in the living.
And
people ain't getting anything back. But that's the kind of
we're gonna have to.
Put on 6160 instead of.
Just so that you can have this so-called harmonious, or as smooth as it can be, a kind of relationship with a whole bunch of other strangers. Acestui val al doilea de Asta este în bunic. Active communication, good for you. And 29% of the students interviewed.
There's no emergency food supply in their houses.
What do you want?
You cannot go there, that's wrong, Jack, because a good many tried. The railway for 500 years, they'd had enough of us, so they went back home. Yeah, but the Russians just out up. Well, I heard that the Russians say they're going to bomb England, and they're not going to bomb Ireland, Scotland or Wales, they're going to bomb England. You know why that is, Jack? Because they ain't got enough bombs to bomb anywhere else. They're running out. Yeah.